Hi guys, a very good evening. Masquera say, Masquera say, Masquera say. Let's take a look on what was really happening during the liberation struggle, the struggles which our women who participated in the liberation struggle faced. And today we want to take a look at a conversation between Trevor Ncube and Margaret Dongo, where she clearly explained how women were raped during the liberation struggle, how women were abused by top officials during the liberation struggle. So you can actually see that they are living in pain. Why? Those issues were not addressed in a new Zimbabwe. They were not given a platform and opportunity to actually speak out or get compensation or get emotional help for them to come into the communities and live normal lives. So she narrated how women were being raped, were being given children, and were being neglected and dumped. Let us get into the video.
Trevor, there are stories that have never been told. The truth has never been told about the history of the liberation struggle vis-a-vis women. It has never been told. And I am hoping one day we will have some people who will be bold enough to stand up and talk about it, or even the writing. But it's a pity that very little is going to come out from the women themselves, because they've been marginalized intentionally to make sure that they are not able, some of them, to speak for themselves. True, women have been abused. Some women ended up with babies, not because they wanted to be babies, to have the babies, but they were raped. So women lived under a terrible environment. You know, we used to have a camp where if you get pregnant, that's where you get dumped. It was called Osibisa. And if there are any attacks, one thing you know, you have to have your baby, your gun, to run away. And in terms of feeding, there was no special feed for those kids. Those women suffered. Whenever they got feeds, yes, here and there, but not always. You know, some people were abused by the chefs themselves. You know, they could have more than 3, 4 girlfriends. When he comes from Maputo, he says, okay, go and find a girl for me from the camp. And, you know, we used to have female camp commanders. They would ring the whistle, call women at a parade, just looking for a girl, for a chef to go back to bed. So
you are paraded.
You are paraded. Not because they want all of you, because they know one. And normally those who knew that they can be victims, they used to run away.
So honestly speaking, if this is being said by somebody who went to war, somebody who participated in the liberation struggle, she is boldly and diplomatically saying it publicly, and we can't dismiss her words. This is what a lot of women are still going through. During the liberation struggle, they were perverted by these people. Right now, in a liberated Zimbabwe, in a so-called liberated Zimbabwe, they continuously get harassed, get raped, and nobody cares about them. Why? It's because that culture was taken from the war to the civil Zimbabwe, to an independent Zimbabwe. And the people who were supposed to end that criminality are the people who are actually in power. Because she clearly said some were raped by my chef. So if we are to do my DNA test, you will see for real that so you can actually see that this is the kind of situation our women, our girls are subjected to. And it calls for us to actually speak. When you see people like Mary Chiwenga being victimized, it didn't start today. It started long back. If we are to revisit the history of Mary Chiwenga, you might be surprised to see what she went through and what led her to actually give in to these big people. A lot of women have suffered in the hands of big people. And the people of Zimbabwe, they say, we can't touch the elders, we can't speak about the elders, let them do whatever they want to do. Let us continue to keep quiet. Go to the churches. The same is happening in the churches. Vana vari kurarwa mumachechi, vana vari kurarwa mupolitics, vana vari kurarwa muzvikoro, vana vari kurarwa mumakambani. Everywhere you go, young girls or women, married women, are being slept with. And at the end of the day, people actually blame the woman and say she was weak and so forth. But the truth of the matter is that how did it start? That is very, very questionable. That is what is very important. So thank you very much, Mama Dongo, for actually speaking out and actually highlighting what was happening during the liberation struggle in the so-called freedom camps. So instead of people fighting for the liberation of Zimbabwe, they took so long because they were very interested in bedding women, and they gave them numerous children. So the history of Zimbabwe is perverted. The history of Zimbabwe is not the true history we read today, or we know, or we are being told today. Reason being, if I am to listen to an elder from my village, what he tells me, who is in the liberation struggle, what he tells me and what they tell us, these are two different issues. These are issues which are completely different. So there's nothing we can do, but we continue to dig deeper and actually know what was really happening during the liberation struggle. So if you are a war veteran and if you participated during the liberation struggle and you want to tell us a story of what really happened or what really transpired, feel free to get in touch with us, and we will be able to actually bring you on this platform, and you will be able to tell the people of Zimbabwe what you went through. And it is very important because the elders who were there are going one by one. So we need to get that information and make sure that it is documented before they go. So if you have a relative, if you have an elder who wants to speak out about what was happening in the liberation struggle, good or bad, feel free to get in touch with us so that we'll be able to come here live on this program and actually air those things out and speak and have a discussion, have a talk about all those things. So you have heard from Mama Margaret Dongo. If you came late, please revisit the beginning of this video so that you can hear what she said. So Team Zimbabwe, let us continue to be in solidarity with our women. Let us continue to register to vote. Let us continue to mobilize for voter registration. That is the only way we are going to save our women from being raped, from being tortured at workplaces, in politics, everywhere, because they are subjected as political, as sex tools, and that is not so good. That is not so proper. That does not constitute a good Zimbabwe, kind of Zimbabwe we all want. So this is it, Team Zimbabwe. If you don't register to vote, it is your woman, your wife, your sister, your aunt, your mother who is going to be raped next, your daughter who is going to be raped next. So we need to make sure that we put God-fearing leaders in the so that they lead with wisdom and the instruction of God. Thank you very much. My name is Ronald. Welcome, Akusha.